Good evening, everyone. So I want to kind of go over, like, tell you guys about what happened the other day and why I went into that episode. Okay, so that noise you hear is the air conditioner. You're just gonna have to live through it. But I got these really nice chairs, this table and chairs. But anyway, okay, so you guys know that. Well, maybe you don't. I don't think I've told you, but I was getting a new roof put on my house, okay? And you guys know, for the last 2 years, my house has been leaking. My roof has been leaking. We've already had to replace the inside of my back room once, the ceiling, the light. I've had several people up on my roof, and this is all because Mark hires people who are cheap, okay? Mark makes a lot of money. Mark has a lot of money. But he is cheap, and that's why people who have money, because they are cheap, because they hold on to it, they don't spend it. And so he kept hiring people who didn't know what they were doing, who knew enough of what they were doing to make it look like they knew what they were doing. But slowly but surely, every person who worked on the roof, it was leaking more. And so Mark finally was like, okay, we're gonna get a new roof put on. While he hires, again, the cheapest worker, who's an old man. He's a nice guy, very nice guy. But see, this guy, he's not doing this job because he needs to do this job. He is doing this job because it's a favor. And so all July, all month long, he has been working on the roof. It's been stressing me out because some days he's here, some days he works, some days he comes for a couple hours. I never know when I walk outside. It's just like the circumstances. I don't know what's going on, and that makes me very uneasy. And it's not like he doesn't follow no schedule, and so I can't like mentally prepare myself to talk to him, to interact with person. Like I've got a lot of issues, you guys, and so it was stressing me out that it was taking so long for the roof to get put on. And a month had gone by, and I kept asking Mark. I said, can you please ask him to finish the job? Because he would come, like I said, he'd come for a couple hours, do a couple things, and then leave. And the mess was building up in the backyard. He wasn't taking the trash off with him. There was, it was just a big old mess, and I couldn't take it. And so finally, the other day, that guy, he was, instead of over here working on the house, he was across the street doing another job. And it built up to the point where I wasn't gonna not say something. I had to say something. And so at that point, like this emotion had been festering for a month. Well, not a month, because it wasn't that long. It had been festering for a couple weeks at this point. And like it just got out of hand of me telling the person how I felt, like, hey, if you need to get the job done and take the trash away and all this stuff. And he took it as me disrespecting him, and I can see why, because my tone was off, my delivery was off, like always. I have a really big problem with that, saying what's on my mind without making people feel attacked. But I like immediately, as soon as it happened and he left, went back into the house across the street, I sat here for a minute and I went across the street and I apologized. I said, I am sorry that I freaked out on you. I did not mean to, or you perceived that I didn't say that he perceived, because that's really what it was, is he was perceiving, because I wasn't freaking out on him. I'm just passionate, but like my delivery was off. So I can tell, for somebody who doesn't know me, it feels like I freak out on you, but I'm not. I can't express myself properly, and it's a big issue. And so then Mark comes in and starts screaming at me, like just out in the open, out here in the middle of the street, and calling me crazy and all this shit. Oh, you don't work and all that. And it's like, I do work, I do stuff, yeah, I do. Just because I don't work the way you define work, and I don't earn a monthly paycheck from a corporation, does not mean I don't work. And he's just basically trying to humiliate me in front of everybody, you know, the neighborhood, because everyone, when shit goes down, you know, people are, it's natural that people just come out and they want to know what's going on. And of course, it was this Sunday afternoon, everybody was home, and it just started to escalate, you know, when, like, I was already heightened, my mood and everything, my emotions were already heightened, so Mark coming in yelling at me, that's what made me, like, freak out. And he started saying some shit like, that's why nobody comes around you, and he just, like, was saying really awful things, and then he said something that really just set me off, and I was standing out here on the porch, and he was standing down there on the grass, and I just started throwing the pots off the porch. Let me show you what I did. So this pot down here, you can see, this is one of the pots. I completely shattered it. This is the other. I lifted up and just literally threw it off the porch. I ripped one of the sunflowers out of the ground, which I feel so bad for. Oh my God, I feel so bad. I threw that pot off the porch. I threw that one off the porch, and I also threw that one off, which it broke them. It broke some of the plants. But yeah, and then I threw a bunch of this plant stands away, and just the stuff that was on the porch, because I was, like, freaking out. I was, like, raging. But yeah, that's what happened. But, you know, all I could do from that point on is apologize to all the people that I freaked out on or took that the wrong way, and not put myself in those kind of situations where that can happen again. Because I've gotten better at identifying my breaking point. Like, when, like, there's a certain point that I can get to, that I can be pushed to, and that I can still be cognizant of what's going on and my behavior, and I can totally be responsible for everything that happens. But then there's this point where it switches, and I can't, like, it's like I am in the passenger seat, and I can see what's happening, but I cannot stop it. I can't. I just rage, and that's a BPD thing. Wish, you know, it wasn't like, I wish that wasn't something I had to deal with, but it is. But when the best thing I've learned is to find those triggers in yourself, figure out where that line is, and remove yourself before, or don't put yourself in situations that you know trigger you, because, you know, nobody likes to be freaked out on, and it also doesn't feel good to do that to people. It makes you feel really shitty. It makes you feel really bad about yourself. It makes you feel guilty and uncomfortable and all kinds of negative emotions, but you're not. So if you do feel that way, just know that it's a lie. You're lying. It's a lie that you tell yourself. You know, it's natural to feel that way. Just don't let pride get in the way of apologizing. Don't let shame get in the way of you saying, hey, I am terribly sorry that happened. This is the reasons why that happens. And it's not personal. You know, that's not really all you can do. And some people will leave, and you really can't change that. And some people will stay, and cherish the people that stay, and let them know. Tell them that you love them. Tell them you appreciate them. Express your gratitude. Express your love. People need to hear those things, and they're more likely to stick around. You know, like, that's why Mark has stuck around for so many years, is because I'm now able in my journey to, you know, to be mature enough to apologize when it needs to be done. You know, like, I would have, if I didn't apologize to that guy afterwards, I don't think I would have been able to show my face around him again. Like, that's how humiliating that kind of experience is. But you guys, I'm gonna go to the grocery store. I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.